Good, how are you?
I'm good. How's your week?
Oh, tired, but my work week is over.
Nice. Wait, your work week's over. It's only Wednesday there. You finish your work
Well,
week
because
on
we're
Wednesday.
because we have Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving.
tomorrow, and then we're closed the rest of the week just because it's
Oh hell yeah,
holiday.
dude.
So, yep.
Sweet. What's going on, Tommy? Nice to see you here, man. You're new here? I think you're muted.
I've been with Coach Taylor for about 2 months now, but this is the first
Months?
time that I've been able to join. But I'm also driving, so I'm just gonna be on mute.
Nah, you're all good, dude. No stress, man. Good
Thank
to
you.
have you here, man.
Thank you.
All right.
I almost forgot about our meeting because I was so tired that I was like, you know what, let me just take my ass to the gym because I didn't make it this
Oh, you
morning
went to
because
the gym?
the week
Killed
is
it.
everything was. I was like, let me just get this shit out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, you always feel good after the gym, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I usually go in the morning, so going at night is a little
It's
different for
different.
me. Yep.
Different game, right?
Yep,
Was
and
it
it's
super busy?
after a long day, I'm just tired, but I made myself do it anyway.
Man, congratulations on that, man. That's a tough one. Even myself, man, I struggle. Not to say I don't train, but I struggle to train in the afternoons now. I used to love it. But yeah, training in the afternoons, it's a rough one. I'm talking in a gym. Just super busy, people
Mm.
everywhere. Like I don't know, I value time a lot, and like the same workout that I can do ends up being like double the amount of time you waste waiting for a machine.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
What's up, guys?
Right. What's going on,
Hello.
Seth? What's going on, brother?
Not much,
All
man.
right,
Back on it.
my man. That's what I want to see.
Get
How's
some
that? Has
shoes
everybody
on.
got plans for Thanksgiving, right?
Try not to get too fat.
What about yourself, Dale, man? Are you planning anything?
Yeah, we got, family come over for Thanksgiving meal, and then Friday's my husband's birthday, so it's like a double
Oh, yeah,
whammy.
you did
But
say
I've
that.
been
Yeah,
Oh,
banking
yeah.
calories a little bit, so just to kind of
happy
buffer.
birthday to your husband.
Thanks.
My brother's
Yeah.
birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Dude, my partner's birthday is in 2 days. Everyone's birthday's
Damn.
So
in
Friday as
November.
well?
Thanksgiving babies.
Oh, yeah, Friday. Yeah, no, it will be Saturday for me, Friday
Ah,
for you.
okay.
Yeah. What is that, the 29th? Or what? What's that for you? 29th, Friday?
Ours is 2 days from now would be Friday because today's Wednesday. Well, technically it's Wednesday right now.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. Mine's the 29th, yeah.
Ah,
But yeah, I don't know if everybody saw the mindset message that I sent, but I truly believe that as well. Like, with all of the holiday season and like the end of year coming, it's not about being perfect. It's just about being in control, right? Don't allow yourself to say no to events. Be able to maintain, go out on those events and restrict the amount that you go over, but don't feel restricted by the fact that you can't eat certain foods. As long as you're intuitive and you stay in control, and then you do the things required of you after. It's always good. A lesson I learned as well is you want to avoid going into those guilt spirals. That's a big one. You eat like crazy and then you feel bad about it and you basically do jack shit the next day. You just lay around because you're overstaffed, or you stayed out or whatever. Like it spirals you throughout the end of the year, especially end of the year. They kind of, all of the events, if you allow them to, they kind of all link together. Like you have Thanksgiving and then you have another event, and then you're like, oh wow, like Christmas is coming, Christmas Eve. Like it kind of all molds together, but you have to kind of understand and treat them all as different events, and plan accordingly for them. Right, it's gonna stop you from having a binge cycle from one event to the other. Is what helps me. Um, yeah, I think biggest one I would say is like, does everybody remember like what we spoke about? I'd say like a month or two ago, almost, like what we should do after we have an off meal plan or an off meal day. I know Tommy's new here, so he might not know. But does everybody kind of remember?
just get back to it. don't feel guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like just kind of the things you touched up on already.
Yeah. But some of the guys here may not. But biggest one is go back to routine, go back to structure. Give yourself a little bit of grace and clarity, and like just if you've eaten more, go and train. Like you won't realize like that extra calories that you get in might make you hit a PR. You know, those are all I guess wins on when I'm thinking about it. Right. Also, a separate thing, drink a shit ton of water. I know, a lot of guys in this program, they're drinking like drink a gallon and a half. Like you'll realize how much your body will want to get rid of sodium when you are drinking a lot. Starting. I wonder if what's his name, Tony, is going to show up because he had a question about managing stress and tough times on track with diet and exercise. I mean, that's a very common topic that I think we all go through.
Well, and with the next few weeks, I'm gonna have to be like on part of the call and like leave partway through because we're putting our puppy through therapy dog training, so I have to go be a part.
Wow.
It's like it's part of it's during our call, so it's one of those I have to
No, that's
do
okay.
a little
That's
bit of both for a while.
Why do you have to bring the puppy into therapy, Dale?
Well, my husband, when he's gonna retire in a couple of years, so he is gonna want something to do. But we think Custard is smart enough that we could use him as a therapy dog in terms of like taking to like nursing homes or like
cool.
the hospital to visit, just to help people feel better, that kind of a thing. So
that's awesome.
So yeah. That's what we're gonna try to do. See, it's just a matter of to see if he wants to do it or not.
Yeah. I thought for some reason, I thought Custard needed therapy.
No, like this little monster right here.
Oh my god, so cute.
Okay, knock it
off. Give it maybe a couple more minutes, I guess. Good to see you, Augustus. Good to see you, Elaine.
What you eating this week, Augustus? I'm kidding.
I know you guys be battling each other for chef of the year.
This is a competition that Dale created. I was just making food.
I was like, well, it was funny because
Dale saw it as a challenge when you posted your recipes. He's like,
well, it's like bam, 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 like 6 things in a row. It's like, what is he doing? He's like eating like 6 different things every day. Finally, I sent something to Coach Taylor. It's like I gotta give Augustus a run for his money in the food department.
No, we're doing spicy sushi tacos next week.
Oof,
nice.
That's good.
Mm.
Yeah. I wanted higher volume for myself this week, so I did a shepherd's pie, and I did it in like 2 really big baking trays, and it was like for 10 meals for me and my partner for 5 days. And man, it does the trick, man. It keeps me full for hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have it in the US, but you guys have like low carb potatoes?
How is a potato low carb?
I've never seen low carb potatoes myself.
Dude, look, we have it in Australia.
You had told me you wanted me on low carb potatoes, but I couldn't find any anywhere.
Yeah. Well, we have it in. Yeah, we have it in Australia. It's I'll show you.
So I used to. When I was on a diet before I made a recipe, I called it an American's healthy shepherd's pie, and it was sweet potato, and then you would put barbecue chicken, but for the barbecue you would use like a sugar-free barbecue sauce, and then I would also do some shredded beef in there too. So you would get like double the protein, and then your carb would be that sweet potato. So you get that salty and sweet and savory all in the same thing. That was pretty bomb.
Let's see if I can find an image here. So we call it I'll see if I can share this screen here. We call it spud, like it's called spud lights, but basically like it's like 25% less calories than a normal potato. Yeah, so you have sweet potatoes, 87 calories per 100 grams, and white potato 75. But yeah, the spud lights, it's 42. It's like half, so you get to eat like double the amount of potato, and it keeps you like super, super full. I looked it up when I first started. The Americans do have one, but it's very hard to find. Let me find it for you. It's called let's see. It's called Carb Smart Yellow Potatoes.
Carb Smart Yellow. Okay, well, let me write that down.
Not too familiar with like American ones, but it seems like there's another one called Lotatoes, like low potatoes.
I'm guessing I'll probably go to one of those bougie, like really expensive grocery stores to find them.
Maybe, yeah. Like our one is just at like any local grocery. Like it's super, super popular. Yeah.
I live in LA with all the fancy like Erewhon, Whole Foods, all those. I've never seen a low carb potato, but I'll try and look next time.
Yeah, listen to here. Does anyone know the brand? Let me see this brand here. Potandon. That's what it says.
Well, I'm originally from Idaho, where it's a running joke in the U.S. that most of the potatoes from Idaho go to McDonald's, which they do. But I've never heard of like a low carb potato.
Yeah, well, yeah, it seems like this brand here also does like 55% less carbs, pasta and rice as well. So yeah, have a look at it. If I could get some of that stuff, I would too. But yeah, have a gaze at it. But yeah, it makes like eating stuff like air fried chips and like doing like. Do you guys have snack packs there? You guys know what a snack pack is?
No.
I don't think US. Yeah, you guys don't have it.
Are you talking about like the pudding snack pack? Sorry.
Nah. So snack pack in Australia is basically like kebab meat with like chips and gravy and stuff. Yeah, so it's kind of looks like get a picture for you guys. Kind of looks like this. It's like chips with like cheese, kebab meat with like garlic sauce, chili,
awesome.
sauce. Yeah, it's kind of like a mixture of like a poutine and stuff like that. So like because a lot of people have access to like the low carb potatoes, like this meal is only like 500 calories.
Oh, dang.
What?
Yeah, and you get to eat like 400 grams of potato, like which is like almost a pound. Yeah, if you're not full from that, I don't know.
Damn.
Has anyone been seeing on TikTok as well? They've been doing this super popular trend with beef mince, making it into like a kebab meat. Has anyone seen that? You've been seeing that, Augustus? That looks. I want to give it a try myself.
I've seen it too.
Oh yeah, I would tear that up.
Yeah, I'll send it to everyone if they want to have a look at it.
So that thing with the meal plan and the thighs, I've been eating like a pound of chicken thighs every day for lunch for the last month, and it's been like super satisfying and really helpful.
Oh, chicken thigh is the best, bro. Like if someone tells me like, oh, their chicken's dry, I'm like, just change this chicken thigh, man. Like this is a different game.
You'll increase your fat content, but you'll be happier about your protein intake.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, and look, calories are the same in the day. You can always fill up protein somewhere else. Yeah. It's not the highest in protein, but yeah, you're gonna find it more enjoyable to eat something that you want to eat instead of something that's dry and you kind of just try to get it down.
To be honest, what I ended up switching to is just chicken breast tenderloins instead of buying a full chicken breast.
Yeah, tenderloin's good too. Yeah, for sure. Even this week as well, I made for my partner. We started missing pork, so I made like sweet and sour pork, and I used pork tenderloin. Man, I didn't even for me working in food and nutrition. I never really dabble with pork because it's usually high. fats, but pork tenderloin is super low. Yeah, so if anybody wants to change and get a different flavor profile, pork tenderloin is pretty good.
That's actually what I'm using for my protein tomorrow for Thanksgiving, because I'm not a fan of turkey. And then ham is usually way too fat. So I bought a pork tenderloin that I'm gonna season and cook up.
Yeah, it's like literally like 3 grams of fat per 100 grams. It's actually really solid. Protein's like 22. Like it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I guess we'll get started. I thought Tony would show up because he was the one that I guess put out a question. But I'll ask you guys, and I think some of you guys answered it as well. But how's everybody managing their stress and like I guess with life being busy? Everybody's busy. I know everybody's busy. But how does everybody try to manage it in their own way? Maybe we'll help someone.
I just went through like a weird little midlife crisis over the past couple of weeks. And it took like 2 weeks to really get through it. But then really I just had to realize like it was kind of out of my hand. And so I had to manage the things that I could manage instead of worrying about the things that I couldn't. And then like at the end of the day, I just got to put it in God's hands, you know? That's kind of just how I viewed it.
Yeah. Were you trying to say like you were putting a lot of the pressure and the blame on yourself?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, even my wife was like, something's wrong with you. And I was like, yeah. So
why do you think you do that?
It was really just like, you know how Alex always talks about like one of the worst places to be is where you're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're comfortable, you grow complacent and stuff like that. And I started noticing that I was getting comfortable like where I was at from a professional standpoint. And so it was like, I need to chase something else. Yep.
Yeah, so you're just being hard on yourself. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you know, my wife being as supportive as she can, saying no matter what I decide to do, she's going to support me. But obviously that's not what I wanted to hear at the time, because it's like, no, I want to do something new.
I think the difference is just like shifting the understanding. Like if you were comfortable because you're lazy, different story. You know what I mean? Like if you're comfortable because you worked your way up to a position and you're doing well, I don't see that as being too comfortable. You know what I mean? Like I see that as you just getting through a busy period or stressful period. Like there's just because you're not striving for something better every single second of your day doesn't mean that you're not working towards some form of progress. But yeah, what was your thoughts on that, Dale? I know you're a very meticulous person. I can just tell, like you always have stuff in order, structured, works really well with you. But let's just say when something happens and it's not part of your structure, what do you do to combat that?
Well, I have to like take a chill pill because like my work, for example, this week, my week was different because I normally have Mondays off and but because of we're closed Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday into next week, we open up. We always work the Monday of the week of Thanksgiving. So I didn't go to the gym because I've been tired because I didn't have really days off like I normally did. But like tonight, I was like, you know what, just fuck it. I'm just gonna take my ass to the gym no matter what. And I forgot about this call, but I still. And then partway through, I was like, oh my god, I forgot the call.
Yeah.
So. For me, like, I guess I try to make stuff happen and it keeps my mind calm, I guess. If I just try to fit it in a different scenario because I'm not doing the normal kind of schedule. So I still try to get it in anyway and it still makes me feel better.
Yeah.
To answer your question.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's on board with what I'm going to talk about too. I actually made a presentation as well about it, but yeah, I'm very similar to that as well. Yeah. Okay, cool. I think everybody else is in the car or something, so I guess I'll just continue with presentation here. Let me see. All right, so I thought maybe I would go over the topic of like, just because, you know, during the busy periods, like how do people manage stress, tough times, and stay on track with their diets and exercise, right? So topic is just, I call it the cure to laziness, and how to create happiness, right? So the first thing I want to say, and I think a lot of you guys are starting to do it, is let me fix this window. Okay, cool. Sorry. Is we just need to change our perspective, right? So I think when everybody starts programs or protocols, I think they also expect perfection to be there, like an all or nothing mindset. And I've brought this up before as well. An all or nothing mindset, people who are actually consistent and do things day to day, they actually don't have that mindset. Like, I don't have the mindset of being perfect on my meals. I don't have the mindset on being perfect on my workouts. I am definitely not perfect on my sleep. And my motivation comes and goes as well, like any other person, right? And I know we spoke about discipline and all that stuff, but the real discipline comes from being realistic to what's happening in life. So instead of having that mindset of, you know, the all or nothing mindset, what we can realistically ask ourselves is like, what can I realistically do today? So let's say, Dale, you were super busy, you know, you didn't get time to train. Like, a person that would have an all or nothing mindset would say, like, I don't have enough time to train, I'm just not going to train. Or I'll do it tomorrow, and then they'll delay it. A shift in perspective or a shift in mindset would be like, I don't have an hour to do my normal session, but I might go for a 20-minute run, right? I might go do a 20-minute bike, right? Yeah, it's not perfect, because to be perfect would be for you to follow that workout, right? But what's better, 20-minute, 25-minute run, bike, or doing nothing and just saying no to working out in general, right? Another example would be like, oh, I didn't get time to meal prep, so I bought fast food. Yeah, that's fine. Like, you didn't have time, you needed the convenience. Why is it that you picked the double Whopper meal? You know, you had the choice to pick the highest protein option, and yeah, it would have cost you a little bit more because higher protein options cost it. But why is it that you chose to pick the alternative where it's like, it's not going to attribute to, you know, you progressing? So it's just like switching off, like, that mindset of like throwing out everything because you're not perfect. It's going to get you a long way. So that's what I do when I'm trying to manage tough times, or things where it's like things that can't be perfect. I'll shift it around and be like, but what can I do? You know, when I'm at a barbecue and they're cooking sausages and I love sausage, like, yeah, cool, I don't have to eat 6 sausages. Maybe I'll just eat 1. You know what I mean? Like, it's just about being in control most of the time, right? And second thing that I would say as well, and I think a lot of the guys in here, except the new ones, are starting to understand, is like, things will always get busy, stuff will always come up, you'll have stressful seasons, but the goal isn't about doing more during those times, right? It's actually about protecting your fundamentals. So, you know, even if you have events on, like, the fundamentals that you want to keep and that we're all instilling here is like, understand that, you know, you just need to be in a caloric deficit, right, for you to progress. And if you don't want to progress for that season and you just want to maintain and not gain excess fat, then just track your calories, right? Another fundamental is drink a lot of water, move a lot around, activity is high, eat a lot of protein so you're satiated so you don't lose muscle, and then get good sleep. I guarantee if those fundamentals are at 70 to 80%, consistency and progress still happens, right? You don't have to throw everything out the door just because you're busy, right? All of those as well, if I think about it in a day-to-day thing, you kind of, no matter how busy you are, you actually have to do those things. You have to eat at a point of time. You have to drink water. Yeah, you have to sleep at the end of the night. The only 2 things that you kind of have to somewhat try to be give effort to is move around and actually track things. That's it. But when you do it long enough, it almost becomes second nature. It doesn't feel like anything, right? And then the last one that I wrote down as well was why we all here. Like, what's the reason why we're here? Why did we choose to be part of this community? Why did we choose to, diet and all that? Like, there's got to be a reason why we started all of this, right? And I guarantee you as well, it wasn't for vanity, right? No one really cares, right, about vanity. We're talking about what's the bigger picture here. One bad week doesn't ruin the whole thing. One missed workout doesn't ruin your whole week. 5 days of holiday periods doesn't erase months of progress. So just always think about the bigger picture. Like, why are we doing all this? Like, where do I see myself in a month if I jump back on consistency, right? So does that make sense to anybody? Yeah.
I hear you, Coach.
Cool. All right, we'll go to the next one. So what I wanted to talk about in this presentation was positive thinking, right? Positive thinking, like the way I'm framing it, like it works not just as a mindset fluff, like it's actually something like chemically that happens in our brain. And we all know like dopamine is required for us to even feel happy, right? So what you regularly think about affects your dopamine, and that dopamine affects whether you actually take action, right? So it's not just a feel-good reward chemical. It actually is a driving factor of why you do things, right? Because let's say, for example, you want to go do something. If you don't see the reward or you don't see yourself successfully doing that thing, no dopamine will be produced for you to even enact that movement, right? So if dopamine is usually low because you're someone that doesn't see yourself being successful in that type of move or whatever, it's quite hard to stay motivated. Does that kind of make sense what I'm saying? I'll go into it more. Yeah, I'll go into it in more of the slides, and I'll bring up what you said as well, Dale. But it's kind of like it's like a loop. If you don't manifest or imagine yourself being successful in that whatever thing that you're doing, it makes it quite hard for you to even do it.
I know for me, like when it comes to like going to the gym, I don't think about the results of like going to work out and like what it's going to do to my body, how good I'll look or whatever. I usually just think about, man, it's going to be hard, and then kind of having more of a little bit of a negative mindset than just thinking about the long run. Yeah.
So that's the way you want to shift it, because you're thinking of like, oh man, so much effort. And the moment you think of that, the negative thoughts come in. And when negative thoughts come in, which is the opposite of positive thinking, dopamine doesn't get produced. Why would you want to do something where you feel like the effort is so high? Right? You're not thinking of the reward of, man, I always feel so good after my workout. My muscles are sore. That means I trained. That means I'm building muscle. No one ever thinks of that. They just think about, man, I'm so tired. Like, I can't be bothered to go to the gym because I know I have to push weight or etc. Right? So it's just a shifting of a thought process, a reframe. What I'm using, right? So where is it? So positive thoughts, future focus rewards, right? So when we have these positive thoughts, our dopamine rises. So if we can imagine ourselves doing that outcome, the dopamine already goes up. So thinking about a good outcome, this could be a promotion, this could be, you getting a better body. Why is this all in running? This is all running the wrong order, but yeah, better body. You get confidence, fitting into clothes, loving things. Like your brain gives you these small dopamine hits, because you're imagining yourself in that situation. You're seeing the reward, right? So when you see something or you manifest or you're managing something, of course you're going to move towards that because you think it's going to happen. And that's the trick that you have to trick your brain into thinking. Dopamine isn't just a chemical chemical that gets produced because you feel good. It gets produced because likely you will actually be imagining yourself getting to that position and how it feels when you do get that action, right? And like the third thing is like you basically move towards the things that you imagined, right? And I'll give examples for this as well, but rarely do we think like, do we have a mental picture of like, if something wasn't possible, why would we do it? Like if you literally see something and you're like, there's no way in hell that I could do that, you have already lost the fight in that. Right? So we want to imagine mostly positive reward-based things you can naturally take action to. You know, it's mostly negative-based or cost-based things that cause us to stall. Right? We don't really go anywhere. And what is the reason why I'm bringing all of this stuff up? It's just a reframe. We've been taught, or we've had a limiting belief in our effort or what we can accomplish, that it's more so the easier route to say that it's impossible to do. Does anyone agree to that, or do you think you've never had that, or what's your guys' experience on that?
No, I didn't get to elaborate more because I was leaving work.
Oh, sorry.
But,
yeah.
No, you're good. I made it home. But that's kind of what that whole like midlife crisis was about, was like, do I want to pursue further into nursing, which no offense to healthcare workers or anything, like I love nursing. I love helping my community, but it's also not a passion of mine. Like a big passion of mine would be to go into voice acting and do voiceover work for like animes, cartoons,
Sick.
Audiobooks, stuff like that. Like it's always been a dream. So it was like, I was stuck between, do I chase that dream and buy myself a new microphone, build myself a recording booth, buy all the software that I need to at least get my foot in the door and get started on doing it? Or do I pursue a nursing degree that, you know, would make me anywhere from $180,000 to $300,000? And I always kept telling myself like, oh no, I wouldn't be a good voice actor. It's going to take too long. I'm nothing special compared to these guys who are already doing it. And then when it came to that nursing degree, I was like, I don't think I'm as smart as those guys. Right. Like, and I just kept beating myself up. And going back into the gym, what you were saying about like skipping workouts and stuff, like last week, that stress was at an all-time high. So I was like, you know what? I'm starting a bodybuilding program next week. I'm getting away from powerlifting. This is my last week of powerlifting. I'm going to just do cardio this week. And I did. I ended up doing like an hour and a half of cardio every day on top of my 10,000 steps. And it's like you said, finding that alternative to like kind of keep a positive mindset. And I think the thing that helped me the most was, instead of looking at those big goals, like pursuing nursing or becoming a successful voice actor, I like reined it back and started focusing on smaller goals, right? To get that dopamine, where it's like, all right, I did an hour of cardio today. I did 30 minutes on the Stairmaster and did a 45-minute walk with the dogs. Like doing that helped me kind of get out of that really crappy mindset and
stay busy.
Yeah. And I got to a better point in my mind where I was able to think of those two choices more clearly and decide on one, you know?
I don't know if did you ever meet Marcus Augustus? You're muted, but it's all right. So Marcus was a client of mine. I think he might have just finished up or paused before you came in. He actually does voice acting for animes and stuff.
Oh man, that'd be so sick.
I'll give you I'll link you to him. I'll just where is he? I'm just gonna write both your guys' names. But yeah, if you follow his Instagram stuff, he does voice act. His voice is hectic too. It's like there's a deep voice, but like he's done like voice acting, so he can help you with that as well. There's a lot of guys in this community, and you wouldn't realize like they're in the same thing as you.
Yeah, man. No, I'm like a man of many voices, but yeah, no, it's always been a dream to have my kids like watch an anime or watch a cartoon and be like, this is dad.
Yeah. Man, look, it's I wouldn't even call it a dream, man. I'd just call it, you just have to have those steps to do it. Like, same thing as when you became a nurse. You didn't just become a nurse. Like, you had to do the back end work. Same as everything, man. Like, for you to have that thought process of like, there's so much better people. Yeah, there's probably like a shit ton of people that are smarter than me, but like, why am I more successful than them? Yeah. This is like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter. It's just like the difference between someone that's super, super smart and never enacts anything because they're scared. Very different than that dumb guy that's constantly trying.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather be that dumb guy constantly trying, you know?
I am that dumb guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all the time. Like, what, like, when you are not scared of failure and you're looking at it as progress, like, how can you be scared? Like, how can you be scared, right?
Yeah.
End of the day, like, we can always make more money. We can always go to work, right?
Yeah.
But we're not going to always have the chance to do those things that we want to do. In your case, you know, like, what happens when you get older? Your voice isn't as strong. You don't have the same amount of frequency, all of that stuff, right? You can't go back, right? But you can always make money. It doesn't matter if you're old, you can make money, right? So yeah, sure. This leads to what I wanted to bring. So like, if you can't imagine something, you know, you generally won't do anything, right?
Exactly.
But this is one thing that I took from Dale. So Dale, have you heard of the idea of shelf space, or anyone heard of the idea of shelf space? I watched the video. If I butcher this, sorry, but it made sense in my head. So shelf space is what I'm talking about. So you have to think right to have a good outcome, right? You can't just, like, when you have a negative thought, you can't turn that off. It doesn't matter who you are. Like, you're going to have that thought, right? It's going to sit there. They can tell you to write it in a book. They can tell you to write it down, but it doesn't matter. You're going to have that in your brain, and you're going to think of scenarios or whatever, right? The worst thing is because it's a negative thought. And we all wish we could turn that off, but it's not possible, right? What we can do, right, is look at it as everything in our mind. We look at it as a shelf, right? What we can do is we can crowd it out with so many things. So that's what Dale said. He's like, I'm so busy. Like, I just stay busy. And, you know, the stress, like, I just don't think about it because I'm constantly doing something else. In a way, that's actually doing what I'm saying, which is crowding your shelf space with positive stuff. Even though your mind is cluttered, it's cluttered with positive stuff, not with more negative stuff, right? So keep in mind, you know, somewhere else it will take up the time, but it's still taking up space in this shelf for you to feel good about what you're doing. So, for example, if let's say it's a shelf space, you got meal prep, you go to gym, you care about your family, you're taking family, you're looking at career options, and you have hobbies. There's literally no more room for you to think negative. You're so fucking busy that you're constantly doing other things, right? Even if you did have time to think negative, it doesn't help anyone, and you're probably going to be too tired to even try it, right? You have so much things on. So there's just less room for that negative thought process to happen. And if it's filled up long enough and you're staying busy doing the things that do help you, that negative thought atrophies. It's no longer that strength that is affecting you because you're so busy, and the less time you're thinking about it, the less power it has over you. Right? Is that kind of similar to what you were saying, Dale? Because that's what I had from what you said.
Yeah, like I just don't. I guess what I was trying to say is, just because I missed a workout, I have to. Like if something happens at work, the schedule is still going to happen, right? Like, if a client's 15 minutes late, whether they're going to get their hair done or not, I have to keep going. So I can't stew on the thing that I missed, or the fact that they missed their appointment, or the fact that I missed my workout, or shit, I didn't eat breakfast, because I'm going to have to figure out how to put that in later or make up for it in another spot. So I guess in the weeks that we've been chatting about all of this, it's helped me take the guilt out of, oh shit, I didn't eat right, or I didn't, because normally I'd be real down on myself. I feel real upset with the fact that I didn't do something. I didn't put the check mark or check it off the list, so to say. But I think I'm in a different, like what you're saying with the shelf space. we have too much stuff to think about, so you just move that over to the, slide that over, go down the line, and you can always go back to the thing you missed.
Yeah. Now I was just going over because you sent it on Discord, like when Tony gave that question, you were like saying like, if things like you're so busy, spending time prepping meals, doing all the good stuff, tracking like a hawk, logging stuff, and then you just said like, even like you're listening to your body, but you're not thinking about the negatives. Like, yes, you're tired, but what did you do when you were tired? You went and you soaked yourself in a magnesium bath and you decompressed, and you took time for yourself, right? So that's why I was like, you filled up your shelf space. You could have just sat there in your bed and had like, oh man, I'm super tired, like I don't want to do anything, but you still did things. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you still filled up your shelf, right? And I know we're close to being finished, but this is the mechanism that I've understood it to be, and I already repeated, but I guess this is just the mechanism. For we have to start with positive thinking. I know it sounds cliche and like whatever, but if we actually never really think about positive thinking, it's quite hard, like I said, to even do stuff. Like it's like why. When people are like depressed and you're trying to figure out why they're depressed, or you're trying to figure out why they don't want, it's their thought process. If they're just surrounded by negativity, why would they want to do anything? Why would they have energy to do anything? Right? So positive thinking, right, it leads to dopamine. Your dopamine has the biggest impact on you and your happiness, right? But here's the thing from the video that I watched that I broke down. Dopamine makes us feel good, and it's quite hard to be happy without it. But I think it comes in two forms. It comes in the form of a reward, and it comes in the form of action, right? So when I talk about action, I mean that if you want to move in a particular direction, you need the dopamine to be in line for you to even make that movement towards the reward, right? And once you get that reward, guess what happens? You get more dopamine. So this cycle ends up playing with each other the whole time, right? So imagine, if you will, like, how do I put this? Let me see. How do I put this? Let me put this as the reframe, actually. Yeah. So this is the example I wanted to put, like the reframe of I use the word laziness, but I don't really see anyone in this call here as lazy, but that's just the term I use. Laziness is just the habit of thinking about effort instead of payout, right? So exactly what Seth said. When he thinks about training, he's thinking about, oh shit, I gotta drive to the gym. It's gonna take time to get into the gym. I have to track myself. Like, he's seeing the effort, not the payout, right? So, for example, laziness is nothing but a habit of thinking, right? So if we could reverse laziness by simply thinking of developing a habit of thinking more about the outcome than the effort. So for example, let's say we don't have food prepared, and let's say that, we want to eat delicious food, right? That we can imagine ourselves enjoying it. Instead of thinking about how long it would actually take for us to prepare the meal and go and get the ingredients from the grocery store, go and meal prep it, cook it, and all that, you should all straight away skip. Oh, what did that happen? We should straight away skip straight to the idea and the thought process of
eating it.
Man, it's gonna taste fucking awesome when I smash this sandwich that I prepared, and it's gonna fit into my macros, and it's gonna keep me on my progress to my goals, right? But it's this process here that we want to skip, right? If we keep thinking of the effort and the effort and the effort is gonna be tiring, I'm gonna get tired. We're not gonna want to do it. But if we imagine ourselves biting this fat ass sandwich, with fucking salami and fucking cottage cheese, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just gets you going. So it's a reframe, right? So this is what I want everybody to start thinking of. Because, like, there's no science behind this, by the way. Like, I'm not saying that there's a science behind this, and I can't prove that this shit works, to be honest. But like, it just seems logical, does it not?
Yeah, no, it does, and it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I wish there was a study or some sort of thing that I can work off. But like, this is another example that the thing, right? Another example, like, why is it, right? Why is it that women, right, want to have a second child, right? I hear, like, you know what I mean? Like, I hear about it. You know, the first child, it was hard, it was painful. You don't know how it feels. My back hurts for 9 months, right? And they say like childbirth is actually one of the worst pains that you can go through, right? Why is it that they want to do it again? Like what is it, you know, like, why is it? It's because of the outcome. The outcome.
It's probably the reward, the feeling of after you had that baby, you know.
That's
Such
right.
a huge dopamine hit. Yeah.
100%. They're not sitting there thinking about, fuck, man, this is gonna fucking kill, you know, and they're thinking about the outcome of, man, look, we're gonna have such an awesome family. They're not focusing on the pain of childbirth, or they're focusing on how awesome it is to have a family, a loving, nurturing family where, you know, you get to live like that's basically what life is about, right? Like, to have a loving family, to have kids, offsprings, all that. So I found that was a really good example, because yeah, it is super painful. It's uncomfortable. You're waking up every morning like nauseated, like so many things that are happening. Hormones are in flux, but why did they do it? Right? It's because of the outcome.
Yeah.
I give myself an example as well, right? So that was me, right? 115 kilos. I think that's like 250 pounds or something like that. I'm not really good with pounds, but why do I choose to put myself through a prepping like bodybuilding shows? Like, what makes like I know it sucks. Like, I know I have to do cardio. I know I have to do Stairmaster. I know I have to be even cleaner on my foods, right? And you know, I have to train super hard and all that stuff. And that journey towards it, you only look good towards the end. You know what I mean? Like, it's rough. You have to say no to events. You have to say no to social things, because you have this idea that everything that you do counts when you get on stage, right? So why do I do it? And why have I done it 4 times, right? So I just think about the outcome. I think about, number one, I try to win. But I don't think I'm ambitious, or do I think like, simply have I created a mechanism which produces dopamine for me to know that going through the process is also a journey, and it's fun too. Like, but I see the outcome of when I'm on stage, I have all my friends, all my family, I'm happy, like all of these things all come up together. Like, I just have this picture in my mind of like it, and that's what gets me through it. The whole prep. Preps aren't short. My last prep that I did was for a whole year. It was 52 weeks. Damn. Like, I had no cheat meals, no, like I said, no to everything. I'm not saying that that's what you guys have to do, but I'm just saying like the only way you can really get through that stuff is you can see the outcome. Like, if I really didn't want to win or see myself winning, I would have just said yes to hanging out or whatever, you know? I wanted to also use Alex as an example. I don't know if a lot of you guys know what Alex goes through on a day-to-day, but, you know, I asked him, like, Alex, you know, what do you do? The list was so long that I actually had to summarize it, right? So, you know, look at him. He built an app by himself. He runs an entire marketing system. He films all the videos himself. He doesn't have a film crew or anything like that. He still fits in 5 days a week of training. He actually cooks all his food, not his partner. He prioritizes still getting in 7 hours of sleep. He still does a lot of the sales calls. And this is just from, I guess, the short list that I made from him. Like, we all live complicated lives, and we are all busy, but like, sometimes you're gonna like question, like, there are people that are super successful that are more busier than us, like much busier than us. How do they still get it done? right? How are they still doing it, you know? And I truly believe it's just from reframes, right? You gotta have to follow the outcome, know that you're gonna be successful in whatever you're trying to do. So then you're moving towards that, you're creating action towards that. When you focus on the reward, the outcome, that dopamine rises and action happens, that means it's easier for you to start. Right? It's not random. I spelled discipline wrong, but that's fine. Your brain will follow what repeatedly like pictures and values that you have. If you want to have more discipline, you have to change your focus. I know I'll wrap up soon, but has anybody ever had this thought process? You know,
every week.
Me
every
too, man.
Week,
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. Look, I cook for me and my partner too. Meal prep can be annoying, you know. But we want to shift. We want to shift from that. We want to, you know, shift to like, you know, I feel proud for what I'm doing. I'm building the body I want. Future me is going to be grateful. Like, we just want to have that shift, you know. You don't need to force positivity, but you need to spend more time imagining what the payoff will be through the pain. You like that line? I like that line.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah. So I guess just to wrap it up, just a quick exercise. Just want everybody this week, you don't have to do it, but you know, before you train or make a food choice or whatever it is, ask yourself, what good outcome do I want today? How will I feel after I do this? And what does this build for me long term? You know, it's not something crazy. You have to send me or anything, but just maybe have a thought process. I know we're in the holiday season. Like I wrote in the mindset chat, I still want you guys to enjoy life. You're supposed to, you know, not feel restricted. The main thing is to be in control. But just ask yourself this when you go out next time and just reframe. You know, you're not trying to be delusional. You know, you're not choosing the thought that creates drive. Like dopamine responds to what you usually anticipate. So if you anticipate a better outcome, you generally will act better towards that. You need to visualize yourself to that goal that you want, right? There's no way in hell that not like you guys are going to be able to say like, oh, like I see myself with a 6-pack. I see myself fit, strong, but then never actually imagining yourself looking like that. If you can't do that, then you will never reach that. All right. But yeah, that's all I prepared for this week. Hopefully, you know, it shifted anybody's mental state or just, you know, reframe. But yeah, this slide here, I think is very important. You know, oh shit.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I was literally just talking to my coworker about it today because she looked at me and she was like, why are you just grunting all over the place? I was like, my body's sore, man. And she's like, why? And I was like, because I worked out. And I was like, you know what's funny, though, is like a year ago, and especially before this program, because this program has done more than like nutrition for me, right? It's
100%.
It's done so much more for my mindset and like way of thinking. So whereas last year I would have been like, oh, I'm hurting my body, I need to take a rest day, or I'm doing this, I need to take a rest day, or I'm doing this and I need to take a rest day. Now it's like, all right, I went to failure, my body's fatigued, it's sore, I need to make sure I'm eating my protein, and this is growth. Like, we're good. So
yeah, I think it's like it should be like you said, it's not just about the gym.
Yeah,
it's about like reframing your whole life, right? Like why not go for that thing that you've been working towards? What's stopping you?
Myself, dude. Yeah, myself.
Most times it is because, like, let's be honest, you probably don't see yourself being successful yet, right?
No, not as a voice actor. It's like I'm 33 years old, so I'm like, oh man, I'm an old man in this. But it's
but immediately the limitations. I'm 33. Who cares?
Yeah.
What happens if you're 50?
AJ, nothing
Bro,
but a number.
I'm with you there, man. Like, I just started writing like a year ago, and like, that was something like I've always wanted to do. But like, no, I suck at writing, and you know, no one's gonna like it, people aren't laughing, whatever. But you know, I said, you know, I'm gonna do it, and if no one likes it, then it's whatever. At least I did. I'll die happy,
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
so I definitely know. I would definitely relate to your fears, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to talk yourself down, but like what I'll have to search this up, but like Thomas Edison figured out electricity is fucking 35 or 38 or something. You know what I mean? Like if you were to it doesn't matter, man. Like there's the only limitation that you're putting on yourself is it's literally yourself. Like no one questions no one questions how long you've been doing something unless you're trying to apply for a job or whatever. But it's kind of once you do it, that's all they see. They're like, oh, he's doing it. You know what I mean? They didn't care.
Yeah, and I one thing that really helped me change that frame of mind this past week was I'm a nurse. I have a job. I have a really lucrative job. I can get a job anywhere. I can work an extra shift if I ever wanted to, right? So if I go into voice acting, at least I have literally probably one of the best safety nets in this world.
Cool. Go do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Don't talk about it, be about it. Yeah.
Just man, just do it. Start something small. It's funny. I even spoke about this with my partner. When you're watching super, you're watching a movie and then you see this actor, right? And you're like, oh, I've never seen this actor before. And then out of nowhere, they're more and more and more into more and more popular movies. But you're like, where did this guy come from?
Mm-hmm.
To us, we're just thinking he just got that lucky thing and now he's in a lot of. Right, you look at all of their works, their filmographies, everything. They've been putting in work. We just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
We're only seeing the results now that they're popular. But you look at it, they're probably in short films. They're in random little cinematography stuff. They're applying for all these things. You don't see the back end work. So why not just do it?
Exactly.
Probably already have the skills since you say you love doing voices and stuff. You just have to show everyone else you have it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I get told it at work and here at home, I get told just out and about. It's man, you have a voice that you could really use somewhere else. I would listen to a book or this, that, or the third, if you were narrating it. And I'm like, damn.
Honestly, at this point, man, cool, that's motivating to hear. But
it doesn't mean shit if I don't do it.
Do it, right? You just do it, man. Yeah.
For sure.
Just do it. Yeah.
I needed this talk this week.
Just do it. Yeah. But yeah, look, it's probably going to wrap up now, but thank you everybody for joining. Thank you so much for participating as well. But yeah, man, super happy with all of this, and hopefully I can come up with another topic for next week. But yeah, please share whatever. It helps me as well build something, just so I'm not kind of just flowing off the top of the head. But yeah, I do truly believe in a lot of the stuff that I'm writing. I'm writing this not because I read it somewhere. I'm writing it off how I feel too.
Let me know if you get a hold of Marcus.
Yeah, I tagged you and him in this, so hopefully he sees it. But he's on this channel as well, man. If you just write to him, he's sick, dude. I think I'll send you his Instagram, but he's voiced a few stuff, man.
Cool.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I'll send that through for you guys. But yeah, we'll wrap up there, everyone. Thank you so much for coming.
For sure. I'm going to go catch some dinner.
Thanks, me too.
Thanks,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, guys. Have a good day. Happy
Thanksgiving,
everyone.
Appreciate it.
See you guys.